When it comes to teaching our dogs loose lead walking, it's good to look at first the equipment that they're wearing. So there's nothing wrong with them wearing a soft lead or collar, like something like this. As long as they're walking nicely on the lead, it's not causing any pressure on their trachea. If you're finding that when you're going for a walk, you're getting coughing noises, that means that collar is putting pressure on their trachea, and we might need to look at either training them better to walk loosely on a lead, or we can put some other equipment on them that gets that pressure off of the trachea. The next things that we tend to look at was then fitting dogs into a harness. As you would have noticed, most harnesses are attached at the back here. What we have worked out over time is, yes, they're nice and comfortable for the dog to wear. Yes, they've taken pressure off their trachea, but with a lot of dogs, it just promotes pulling. If you think about why those back attached harnesses were invented in the first place, it was for dogs to pull sleighs and things like that. So what happens then is, yes, you've got them in wearing more comfortable equipment, but now they can pull you along with their whole body versus when they were just using their neck before. So the newer invention that has come about is what we call front attached harnesses, and Halo is wearing one now. So as you can see, it attaches here at the front, so there's a little buckle. What it does is puts a little bit of correcting pressure onto them. So as they try to move forward, it puts a bit of pressure there. They don't want to pull into it. But the other thing that happens is as they pull forward, it turns them slightly and makes them look back at the handler. So that way it's a little bit self-correcting, and it makes just loose lead walking a little bit easier to do. So I love the front attached harnesses, and that's what we'll be working with today when I'm going to show you some loose lead walking later on with Halo. The other thing we want to look at is, why do we teach our dogs to walk loosely on a lead? Is it because they're big and strong and it's now become uncomfortable for you to go for a walk where they're starting to pull you over? Is it because they're starting to cough and splutter into their walk? So obviously they're putting too much pressure in the wrong areas, like their trachea. Or is it because your dog is a little bit now hypervigilant, and now you're just a passenger behind them, and even when you do want them to turn and look at you and give a bit of focus, say for example if you've come up to a stimuli that's causing them to maybe want to bark, or you've come up to the edge of the road and you'd like to ask them to sit, but because they've been walking their whole walk, looking around, not even realizing you're behind them, that they just can't do that simple exercise for you at the moment. So the technique of loose lead walking is used for many things. It's to help our dogs to relax into the walk. If we can get them to relax into the walk, then they're less likely to react to things. If we can get them to relax into the walk, then they're less likely to be pulling us along, and it becomes an uncomfortable motion. Okay, so let's get started.